Golden Hour Part 4 Diary. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! Why is it that both the world I once resided in and the world I encountered beyond it are so unbearably cruel only to me? After spending all that time alone, repeating questions into the void that never came back with answers, how did I end up alone again? If this is how it's going to be, why did my mother bird even bother waking me? All those other birds hold their young so tenderly, so why does my mother bird seem to hate me? If this is how it's going to be, why was I even brought into this world at all? Had I never awakened, had I never learned emotion, I might have quietly existed, never knowing I was unhappy. Shame quickly gave way to an overwhelming fear, and that fear made me resent the world, and resentment turned into anger. Even if no one taught me, I could now understand on my own. I was furious. I was indignant. If I could not be destroyed, then I would destroy everything in the world except myself. Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! This energy, born from anger, was more powerful than any other emotion I had ever felt. I dug frantically into the ground like a madman. I didn't know where I was going, but it didn't matter. I needed to find a new vessel. If I could only find a vessel, I could make them all like me. I don't ever want to be alone again. I wanted everyone to be angry. I wanted everyone, like me, to destroy everything in the world except me. Then I wouldn't be alone anymore. That's right. This anger I feel is justified. After digging for what felt like ages, I hit a hard wooden plank, which made me even more upset. I followed the insects that were gnawing through the gaps and cracks of the wooden plank deeper inside. Something lay there, a vessel, just the thing I had been looking so desperately for. But this vessel held no emotion. That didn't matter, though. If it had no emotion or memories, it wouldn't be able to cast me out like the others had done. But a single vessel wasn't enough for me to move as I wanted. I needed more, and so I collected the empty vessels around me one by one. I gathered the empty vessels, bone dust, dirt, and grass to build a body. Little by little, I was able to claw my way above ground. Now, even if those 8 men, my mother bird included, found me again, they could no longer harm me. I had a body of my own. As I reached the surface and emerged from the ground, my anger spread through the air, infecting everyone. People began attacking each other. Even the phones they carried in their hands erupted with rage. Now, in this world, there was nothing but me and those like me. I was thrilled. The entire world fell into chaos. People lashed out at one another, verbally and physically. In some places, wars even broke out. Terror attacks occurred across the globe. The weakest were the first to get hurt and die. The scenes unfolding made it seem as if a new world war could erupt at any moment. Only by stopping Sopro could the members awaken the world from the anger it had spread and stop the fighting. But now that Sopro had obtained a body formed from dead beings stripped of personal memories and emotion, they could no longer stop it in the same way they had before. It wasn't as if the members could spare the time to go from person to person and wake each of them individually. But they couldn't just stand by and die either. They had to do something. Anything. There has to be some kind of memory that most, if not all, people share. The members had come to Yosong's villa to escape from the angry swarm of people and had resolved to find a way to awaken everyone. Their immediate priority was to stop the wars and acts of terror. The safety of the people came first. Getting rid of Sopro came next. If we can find a way to wake even some of them, they'll be able to wake the people closest to them. All we need to do is show them how. How about we try hacking? It's the easiest way to connect with people around the world instantly. By waking everyone who has a phone, we can reach the most people. If we need a more concrete line of connection, we could try using social media, kind of like turning socials into power lines and transmission towers. Putting it simply, Mengye's idea went like this. Find a power line that links a large number of people and send out a transmission wave that could wake them all at once. Hong Jung-hyung and I have the most followers, so let's start with that line first. Yosong-hyung, if you could set up a connection like Mengye-hyung said, I think transmitting music might work the best. But what kind of music? It would need to be something that everyone would recognize regardless of age or nationality. Maybe not everyone, but I think I know a song that most people have probably heard at least once when they were little. In place of a long explanation, Jongho began playing the piano. It was a familiar melody. The members all began humming the chorus together. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Yeah, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Jong-ho finished playing the tune and began his explanation. You all know it, right? The Beatles' Let It Be from 1970. When Paul McCartney was going through a hard time, his mother came to him in a dream and told him, "Let it be." Inspired by that dream, he wrote the song. Who wouldn't know this song? It was the perfect fit for the situation, too, and it's the Beatles no less. A song that's been played on TVs, on the radio, and now on streaming platforms more times than there are people on Earth. The members couldn't think of a better song, and there wasn't time to consider any others. It sounds like a good idea to me. Mingy, Hongjung-hyung, let me know your login info. I should be able to hack your followers. Alright, let's try Jong-ho's idea. It's not like we have any time to waste. We'll be the first dominoes to fall. Music is often described as a time machine. The old songs your dad would play in the car on family trips. The lullabies your mom would sing while gently patting your back when you couldn't sleep after a scary dream. The idol songs you and your best friend were crazy about. The pop hits you would film little dance videos to with your friends during breaks at school. The folk songs you listened to on your way home at night, comforting you on days when nothing went your way. The jazz music that played as you gazed into the sunset with someone you loved. The ballads with lyrics that seemed like they were made for you when you listened to them after a breakup. The hip-hop tracks you'd listen to on your way to work to pump yourself up for the day. The movie soundtracks an old flame adored. The classical music that you would hear in passing on days out. The new age music you went out of your way to listen to when you wanted your music taste to stand out. The trot songs your dad would sing to your mom at karaoke. The musical number your brother sang so much it got stuck in your head. Everyone has probably experienced that moment when a special song from your past suddenly plays, and in an instant, you're transported back in time. That was what the members wanted to ignite. They hoped that this song would draw out the people's warm, happy memories of the past. I'm ready. All that's left to do now is press enter, and we'll be connected to your followers' phone screens. Sitting at the piano, Jong-ho nodded as if to say he was ready too. At his signal, Yosong pressed enter. Jong-ho began to play. On the battlefield, in scenes of raging violence, and in cramped rooms where typewriters were sending out blades of words into the dark, Jong-ho's music began to play. The air, once drenched in screams and swears, was now filled with the beautiful melody, and the enraged people froze like broken robots. They tried to puzzle out what new kind of terrorism or expression of anger this was, but it was nothing of the sort. It was simply music. A figure clutched their head as a wave of pain overcame them. Beneath the pain, a single memory resurfaced. In that memory, they gently sang this very song to a date, soothing them as they vented about the day's miseries. Yet another was struck by the throbbing pain of a headache. They recalled the memory of a mother softly humming this song while gazing at the passing scenery through the train window as she returned home from a fun vacation with her child. She beamed like a young girl, claiming she could sing every Beatles song. Some writhed in pain, heads heating up like popcorn on a stove. Pop! Memories long forgotten burst back to the forefront of their minds. The time they heard the crowd break into cheers, singing the team's anthem when they hit their first home run after spending years in the minor leagues. The melody they played, all dressed up in front of everyone at a family gathering for the first time, the proud faces of their parents applauding their clumsy childhood performance. The memory of playing jump rope with the neighborhood girls long ago. The sound of music drifting from the streets as they ran to embrace their husband who had just safely returned from war. Some could recall no memories at all, while others were driven into greater fury as memories full of anger resurfaced. But, for most, Jong-ho's music brought back memories of their childhood. The majority of those memories were of times with their family, and about 80% were warm, nostalgic recollections. After a brief headache, they were instantly released from their anger. Once they came to their senses, they learned how to free their loved ones from this anger through the members still linked to their phones. Upon figuring out what to do, they immediately shared videos, photos, music, scents, and food that would evoke fond memories to those they loved, awakening them from the anger as well. In turn, the newly awakened learned from them how to save others, and together they hurried to assist more and more people close to them. Those in shopping malls or schools used the speaker systems to play music that resonated with the people of their country and culture. It wasn't Jong-ho's piano rendition of Let It Be anymore, but other memorable tunes like those of the Beatles, Michael Jackson, Bob Marley, or opening themes from old cartoons. As more people awoke from their stupor of anger, the speed in which the phenomenon progressed picked up. Like a chain of dominoes, they saved one another, creating a beautiful picture in motion. Fond memories spread among them. people were saving each other. Wee-oo, wee-oo. The loud wail of a siren rang out from outside the villa. Like moths to a flame, the members rushed to the window to look outside and peer down. It was Sunghwa driving a fire engine. Honk honk! A small food truck pulled up behind the red fire engine, its hazard lights flashing. Son leaned out and waved up at the members from the driver's seat of the food truck. "What are you all standing around for? We've got that Frankenstein to deal with." Sopro's movements had grown sluggish, having sucked up all manner of things to build its new, giant body. Unable to move far from the graveyard where it was first discovered, it was found destroying buildings and attacking people at random. As this body had neither memory nor emotions of its own, there was no way for the members to make the creature cast out Sopro. They had no choice but to destroy the Frankenstein body creation that Sopro had taken over. Bringing along the fire engine for water and the food truck for fire and electricity, the members headed toward the old graveyard. The nearby village was in ruin, covered in mud as if a landslide had wiped the town away. Scattered among the mound of mud lay fragments of bones and the remains of animals, a scene of utter devastation. The members held their breath and followed the creature's tracks. It wasn't long before a scream pierced the air, and in the direction of the scream stood the towering Frankenstein monster. Following Sunghwa's lead, the members leaped into action and aimed the hose at the creature to douse it with water. They hoped the intense water pressure would strip the decaying dirt flesh from its body. Sunghwa readied himself with the hose at the front, and upon his signal, Yuno turned the valve. The white hose twisted between Jongho and Uyang as though it were alive, and water burst through the nozzle gripped tight in Sunghwa's hands. A fierce torrent shot through the air, striking the creature's back. Only then did it sense them. Letting out a guttural roar, it turned around. Unintentionally, the members all swallowed hard at the same time. The creature seemed to examine the members one by one with what appeared to be its eyes, until its gaze froze on Uyang. Mother Bird,